just want to kick that field goal first, Steve. I hope you don't mind. High school coaches now facing fines up to $200 if their teams run up the score on other teams. Yes, winning by 35 points or more is a problem. So is this a wussification of America, or does it show good sportsmanship? Joining us right now for a debate we think will be excellent, Mark St. Amant. He's the author of this book, Just Kick It, Tales of an Underdog, Overage, Out-of-Place Semi-Pro Football Player. And Mark Hyman's here. He's the author of Until It Hurts, America's Obsession with Youth Sports and How It Harms Our Kids. Mark St. Amant, first off, do you believe fining coaches for blowing out another team is a good move?
No, I actually don't. I think there's an argument that we're protecting our children, but I think these days we're overprotecting. We're essentially bubble wrapping them against the realities of life. The fact is there is losing in life, there is failure in life, and those can be good building blocks and good tools to build character. And I think if we're basically saying to kids, you're not winners, but you're not necessarily losers either, that takes away that building block for character that they'll need for the rest of their lives.
Mark, we building character by allowing blowouts to happen? Are kids not going to grow emotionally if we don't let them get blown out as children?
Look, I think this league in California is a forward-looking, innovative league in that they're putting the needs of kids first. Now, whether a fine is appropriate, whether that's the appropriate deterrent, I think that's a detail. The important thing is that we want kids to enjoy sports. We want kids to be active throughout their lives. And allowing 52-point blowouts, I don't think really that promotes the love of sport.
Here's what the deputy commissioner says, and we're talking about a Sacramento Football League. He says it's not the hurting the kids, it's teaching them compassion for the other team, it's teaching them sportsmanship, and that's just it. Are we teaching somebody to dance in the end zone, Mark St. Amant? Are we teaching them, hey, you got them down, put your foot on their throat?
No, I don't think that. I think, though, there's a difference between teaching good sportsmanship and, to me, it's actually more patronizing. I would feel worse if I was on the losing end of a game and the other team was basically taking a knee and letting me score at will. That's something that I don't think kids need to learn in life.
One thing about sports, it's tough in basketball and football to not blow another team out, where in a game like soccer or field hockey, you could easily do other things. You could take a man off the field. You could work the ball around. With football, you got to get the ball back, and then you got to run it. I guess you could mess with the lineup and put people where they don't belong, which could lead to injuries. But listen to this. Mrs. McHugh, Kelly McHugh says this: the players on our son's team are afraid to score once they get a lead for a fear that their coaches will be penalized. Now they are afraid their coach is going to get suspended and not going to have a coach to come out and play football with. Is that something that, Mark Hyman, that you think could boomerang on this league?
Look, I think the issue is the attitude and the approach that the parents take. If the parents are supportive of measures to keep games competitive, I think the kids will follow suit. And look, there are mercy rules in other sports. In high school baseball, for instance, it's a long-standing practice that if a team is ahead by 10 or more runs after 5 innings, the game ends. Now, that may not be the appropriate solution for football, but the point is that this is an accepted part of youth sports. Right. This is nothing new. And I think if 6 people get around a kitchen table in California in this league, they can figure it out.
Right. It's also not balancing a team well. Clearly, if these are these are 12, 13-year-old kids, you know who the better players are and how to balance it out, I guess, through a draft. I also think there's other little things you can do in football. You could say, well, a kid can't score more than 1 or 2 touchdowns. You can't carry the ball after they have a certain amount of yards. You could put people in. Well, one thing I think is a bad example when you see a college football game and you see a score of 72-0, and at the same time you're fining the other team $200 for winning by 35 points, I think it sends a mixed message. One thing about it, youth sports is a hot topic. Mark St. Amant, thanks so much. Mark Hyman, good debate.